The next step in the pattern is to connect your two strap pieces so that it can be one continuous length that equals 84 inches. So how we do that is take one end and we're going to take the end of the second cut and we're going to put them right sides together. So flip that one over and put this one on top, and we're going to line them up at right angles. So you can see here, this corner is going to line up with this corner, and this edge lines up and this edge lines up, and we're just going to clip those in place. Making sure everything stays in line. Okay. And next we're going to take a ruler and we're going to place it so that one edge is lined up with the corner of the strap that's facing up, and then the other side of the ruler is matched up with the corner of the strap that's on the bottom side. And that is going to give us a line that stretches from this corner all the way down to this corner. Okay, and now we're going to stitch through both straps along that line, making sure everything stays really well clipped. I'm going to also place a clip right here so nothing shifts. Okay. And I'm just following that line. All the way to the end and back stitch at the end. It's important to make sure that you have the straps right sides together. And that when you open these up like this, it creates a straight strap. So you don't want to go from this corner down to this corner, because then you won't be able to open it up like this and have a straight strap. So next we are going to turn it to the back side and open up the seam. And from the front, we are going to top stitch that seam open. Okay, our seam is now top stitched open on both sides, and we are now going to trim away the excess. So just trim the triangle, don't trim the strap, and just cut up the sides of that seam to get rid of that material. And now you have a seam that looks like this. So it's trimmed away, top stitched open, and your strap is now combined. Next, we are going to run a line of double-sided tape along the center line we drew on the strap. Just going right over that seam that we created before. Now this strap is so long because it's going to serve as both of our backpack straps as well as our crossbody strap. So we need it to be super long in order to work for both backpack straps. And then we have to have the ability to shorten it so that we can use it as a crossbody strap as well. So that is complete. I'm going to go ahead and grab our handles and our backpack connector and our side straps, and we're going to do the same thing with the tape. Okay, these are the short handles, the short sides of the handles, I should say. Make sure you're cutting both lengths of the handle from the cut chart. Okay, so our handles have double-sided tape. Now we're going to do our side straps and our backpack connector. All right, I'm going to set our backpack connector and our side straps to the side. And next what we're going to do is remove the paper from one of your handle pieces and fold the long edge towards the center, lining it up with the center line that you have down the middle, and sticking it down with the double-sided tape. I like to start in the middle of the handle and then work my way towards the edges. That helps it not to be twisted at the end when you're done stitching your handles. And then we're just going to go down the other side towards this end and stick it down really well. Flip it over, and we're going to do the same thing with this long edge of the handle. Stick it down right in the middle, right up against that line that we drew in the center. Also make sure that when you are folding this over and sticking it down in the center of your handle that you're not pulling on the edge and stretching the vinyl or whatever material you're using. That will also contribute to a twisted handle at the end after you have stitched your handle. So stick that down really well, and you now have a handle that is completely stuck down. We're going to do the same thing for the other 3 pieces of the handles. We now have all 4 of our handle pieces folded in towards the center and stuck down. Next, what we're going to do is take our longer pieces, so set aside the short cuts, and we're going to measure 1.5 inches in from the short edges. And on the wrong side, which is the side that has the raw edges, we're going to make a mark. Okay, 1.5 inches. Just make a small little mark, just like that. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side of the handle. Make sure that you're still on the wrong side. Make another mark 1.5 inches in from the end. Next, we're going to take one of our short handles and we're going to lay it wrong sides together with our longer handle, and we're going to line the edges of the short handle up with those 2 marks we just made. So our short handle is right up against the mark we made on the long handle, and we're going to clip it in place, aligning the long edges. Okay, so this shorter handle is clipped to the longer handle, and the long handle has 1.5 inches of space on either end that does not have the short handle clipped to it. And we're going to do the same thing to the other long and short handles, and make sure all of the long edges are aligned. And now we are going to stitch this handle. So with the long handle right side up, we are going to stitch 1/8 of an inch away from the edges all the way around. And I'll show you that when we are done. Okay, you're going to go all the way down to the other end, pivot and go across the end, and then pivot again and come across and come back up the other side. Okay, I have top stitched our entire handle, and you can see that I went all the way to the end of the long handle, and if you flip it over, you can see I stitched all the way to the end of the long handle, so there's about 1.5 inches of room where I was only stitching on the long handle, not the short handle, which starts right here. All right, we're going to do that to the second handle now. Making sure everything stays aligned. All right, our two handles are completed. We're going to put those aside now, and we are going to retrieve our 3 connector pieces, the backpack connector and the 2 side straps. We're going to take the paper off of the tape and fold the edges into the center like we did for the handle and stick those down. Okay, this time though we are going to top stitch this at 3/8 of an inch. So basically 3/8 of an inch away from the long edges will give us 2 lines of stitches near the middle of the strap. And here are the 3 pieces top stitched at 3/8 of an inch away from each edge, and that creates a double line of stitches in the center of the strap. So this is the backpack connector, and these are the 2 side straps. Set those aside for now. And retrieve our strap that we already added double-sided tape to, and we are now going to fold the edges of the strap towards the center and stick it down with the DST, aligning the long raw edges of the strap with the line that we drew down the center. And I just do a little bit of it at a time. This is a very long strap, and I don't like to start at the ends. I like to start somewhere in the middle, not necessarily the halfway point, but just in the middle somewhere, and stick these down. And I like to work fast so that nothing has a chance to unstick itself before I'm done. And I'm also using really good double-sided tape, good quality. This is the Tanner's Bond permanent adhesive from Tandy Leather, and you can also get a similar product from waywack.com. Their leather tape is very, very sticky. I really like the quality. The only difference between the Tanner's Bond tape and the Waywack tape is that I can tear the Tanner's Bond tape. The Waywack tape requires cutting with scissors. You can't tear that one. So that's the real only reason why I prefer the Tandy tape. We're just gonna fold right over that seam that we put in the strap here and go all the way to the end. I'm also using the 3/16 size of tape. It's pretty narrow. As you can see, this is the paper from the tape. It's pretty narrow, and it's so sticky that half of that width of the tape is holding the edge of this strap to the center. Okay, and I'm going to flip this over so that I can start on the other side here. Okay, we have stuck down both edges of the strap to the middle, and I am going to grab my clips now because we are going to fold that over one more time so that the folded edges are aligned with each other and the raw edges are completely encased within the strap. And then I'm going to clip along that all the way to the end. Here I have my strap completely clipped together, so you can see here that all the raw edges are encased inside the fold of the strap, and we're going to top stitch down both sides at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right, here is our strap completely top stitched all the way around, as well as our two handles and our backpack connector and the two side strips. For now, we are going to keep the handles ready for the next step, and we are going to put the strap, the backpack connector, and the side straps aside for now.